It's Fernando Ruiz Art.
Hi everybody. Today we got a topic that we could really sink our teeth into, and that is how to draw mouths. How to draw mouths. And this is one of those topics that I kind of thought I had done already, but then it gets suggested to me and I check out the videos that I've done and I see that I haven't. I'm getting to the point where I'm forgetting what I intend to do and what I really did do. So as always, if there's ever any topic that you want me to cover, that you'd like me to do, and it's not in the library, just let me know. And this particular topic of drawing mouths, this was suggested. We have to give thanks to regular channel subscriber, Alyssa. Alyssa is also one of my regulars in the live chats for the video premieres. She almost always makes it. So she suggested that we cover how to draw mouths. And I think I did go over this in one of my videos on faces. But mouths are the sort of things that you can't say enough about. So there's a lot to cover here. So I'm going to talk about mouths. So why don't we open wide and jump in? Okay, and there'll probably be lots of mouth oral jokes to sink our teeth into. Okay, so whenever I talk about drawing mouths, I always start out with the letter M for mouth. Okay, if we take the letter M, let's say we grab the two legs on the letter M and we pull them out. We kind of wishbone them out, and that gives us the top of the upper lip. Okay, it slants up, dips down, then slants down. Now where the upper lip meets the lower lip, that will just curve, dip into the center, curve back to the end. Okay, and then the lower lip is I generally depict the lower lip as a little bit of a cast shadow like this. And I'll explain why in a moment. And if you notice in this mouth and in the other mouth that I drew, I almost always do not delineate the entire lip shape. Okay, I almost always never draw in the lower lip as well. And the reason why is because the more complete you get with that lip shape, the more of a lipstick quality the mouth takes on, and it starts to look a little too feminine. So especially if you're drawing a guy's mouth, you really want to refrain from drawing as much you really want to be minimal when it comes to drawing the mouth. You don't want to overemphasize the lips too much. So the lower lip I very often just indicate as a little bit of a cast shadow. And sometimes I may even indicate the upper lip as a bit of a shadow as well. Now the reason I do that, to explain this, I'm going to throw down a quick profile here. Okay, just a quick profile. We've got a nose. The nose comes out. And the mouth in profile, the lips in profile, let's get in close for this. Okay. The lips curve out, the upper lip dips in, and then the lower lip dips out again, and then it curves down into the chin. Okay? This is your basic profile on men and women. Okay? There's no real difference here. Now, most of the time, under most circumstances, our light sources, for the most part, tend to be above us. Okay, whether it's the sun in the sky or, overhead lights, fluorescent lights, what have you. Under most circumstances, we generally have light coming down on us from above. Because of this, the upper lip doesn't catch that much light. The upper lip tends to be in shadow. The lower lip, however, yeah, that does catch light. The lower lip will also, because of the incline inward, will cast a shadow. So that's why, generally speaking, your upper lip is darker or will look darker than your lower lip. Lower lip is reflecting light, upper lip is in shadow. So because of that, sometimes when I'm drawing a face, okay, let's just, especially a face in what we call, say, comic book shorthand, because comic book faces typically, and I'm talking about like someone with a more cartoonier style, say like a Jack Kirby or so forth. A comic book face is really not quite a portrait. It's sort of a stylization, an exaggeration, where the nose is really just lines and maybe an indication of a cast shadow like that. But the mouth will generally just be an upper lip, maybe like that. And maybe if we show an opening, we'll get into teeth too in a second. And then we just have a little bit of a cast shadow for the lower lip. And that's generally how I approach the mouth. Sometimes a few little lines in the corners like that, just to make him look a little happier. But that's how I approach your basic comic book mouth. Now, if I wanted to make the mouth a little more feminine, okay, let's throw down a quick female face. I don't want to get too Archie-esque. With the female face, I'll push the curves on that upper lip. Okay. And I will try to fill out that lower lip more, just to make her look a little cuter, a little sexier. But generally, I try to avoid this whole shape of that lip shape, that complete lip shape. Now, in this face, I've drawn a 3/4 view of a face, but especially the mouth. Now, notice if we go back to my original mouth, right where that center divot happens in the upper lip. Let's say we draw a line right down the center of that. Now let's imagine that line staying there. But as the head turns, that line is going to move either left or right, depending on which direction the head is turning. So say the head moves to the right, that line is going to move with it. And what happens is the left side of the mouth is going to be longer than the right side of the mouth. So a mouth in a 3/4 view, I'll go in, do that center divot, and then shorten the other side of it. And then, once again, lower lip, a little bit of a cast shadow. And sometimes the upper lip, just a shadow, like so. Sometimes I may just darken it like that. Simplicity can be good. You don't always have to overdo things. Now, the mouth, oftentimes when people talk about facial expressions, they talk about the eyes being the most expressive feature of the face, and maybe they are, but the mouth can certainly change shape more than any other feature. Okay, the mouth can pull to one side, the mouth can stretch and open. It can open just a little bit. It can, your mouth can smile, and it can frown. So the mouth can do a lot. The mouth can do a lot. So as always, as with everything I talk about, everything that I try to show you guys on this channel, in these videos, I can only show you a few things, but really to get good at this stuff, really the best way to get good at this stuff is to practice it. And that's my recommendation on just about every topic that I cover, every topic that I ever talk about. You want to get good at something, yeah, I can give you information, but you're not going to get good unless you practice it, unless you put that information into practice. Now, I want to talk a little bit, because I promised my pal Al, who suggested this video, a little bit on teeth. Now, teeth, usually, by and large, what you want to try and avoid is drawing every tooth in the mouth, because what will happen is your person will look like a horse, or like they've got a bunch of rocks in their mouth. So what I do, sometimes if the mouth that I'm looking at, if the mouth that I'm drawing is small or far away, I may actually just leave the big white single tooth shape and not go into it. If I'm a little closer, what I may do is just indicate the beginnings of the teeth, like so, just like that. Sometimes only in a couple of teeth, and that's it. That's all you need, because to go in and delineate them all, like I said, you just start looking like you got marbles in your mouth. I also try the mouth interior. I really want to try and keep simple, even in a mouth that's like really open wide. Sometimes there's a whole lot that you can show off in there, but the tongue is sometimes visible. I try to resist showing the tongue because I don't want it to look like a wad of gum in the mouth. And sometimes you may get to a point where you can see that lower mouth, or the lower row of teeth. Again, I try to resist that, because if you show too much stuff, mouths, even open mouths, are really a small space that we're talking about. So I really try and keep that simple. I don't want to go in and add a whole lot of stuff, like a whole lot of teeth and all the detail on the tongue and all that, because it's just going to read really weird. It's just going to look like a lot of scribbles inside the mouth. So once again, just keep it really simple. Okay, so I hope, and again, my final thought, my final word of advice, because mouths can have so many different shapes, so many expressions, there's so much to mouths, I say practice. Practice, practice, keep drawing, and as always, keep checking back for more videos. Subscribe, please click like if you like this, and I'll see you next time, everybody. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.